Welcome back to the weekly Brooklyn Property Market Update, brought to you, of course, by Anglo & Volker's Brownstone Brooklyn. My name is Katriona, and I'm joined again today, of course, by Donald Brennan. So shall we just cut straight to the data today, Donald, since we have a lot to discuss?
Sure thing. Let's get going.
So what happened last week across the 16 key neighborhoods in Brooklyn that we track in the luxury market above 2.25 million and the market below 2.25 million? So what property type is actually dominating the new to market and in contract activity in that luxury above 2.25 million market, Donald?
Townhouses by far, almost 3-to-1 activity there. 98 deals going into contract in the first quarter of 21. Last week's activity was on par with the previous weeks. So we got a 1.2 positive net absorption rate as measured against new to market versus in contract listings. And so we had 84 new to market townhomes come to market in the first quarter. So demand quite strong there. Not as strong in the luxury segment for the other types of ownership of condo resales, new development condos or co-ops. Only 27 condo resales going into contract first quarter, 42 new development condos going into contract first quarter, and 7 co-ops, all of those experiencing negative absorption rates where more new product was coming on than being absorbed for the first 3 months of 21.
So townhouses is still that hot commodity across all neighborhoods and across all price points. As we know, the buyers are out there looking for them. So what about the below 2.25 million market? How has that been faring?
Pretty consistent there versus the luxury side. All asset types are showing positive net absorption rates where the demand is exceeding supply currently, in the, definitely as measured in the first quarter, which is a continuation of that demand ending up last year. So for example, townhouses, we had 60 new to market listings in the first quarter. 86 deals went into contract over the same time frame. 279 of condo resales introduced to the market. 299 going into contract, 187 condo new development units coming online, 250 going into contract, and 214 co-ops showing up as available the first quarter, and 228 of those going into contract. So, yep, as I said, across the board, real good activity there on the buy side. And it's great to see that the year starting out with such strength for sellers.
Definitely. And of course, there's a little message in there for those sellers who perhaps aren't on the market but might be thinking about it, because it would seem like now is a good time to really think about it.
Yep, absolutely. As we always like to stress, no real apples to apples here unless you're talking about a new development in a tower where you can get a little real close on pricing approximation. So, certainly some strength out there for the sellers. Just always want to be wise as to what you're introducing the property as at what price relative to what's available in your marketplace.
So let's end on our fun fact, where we talk about a topic that we get asked a lot of questions about. And this week, we want to talk about permits. With a lot of these properties that people are looking at, particularly townhouses, there are people who may be facing the prospect of doing some renovation work, never having done it before. They hear the word permit and they wonder, what does that mean? How do I get it? Do I have to get it? What's the implication of that? Do you want to talk about that, Donald?
Yeah, in a sentence, almost everything needs a permit these days. Ordinary maintenance doesn't, painting and so forth, and even like replacing kitchen cabinets doesn't quite require a permit. The city does recommend, the state does recommend you use somebody who's registered with the Department of Consumer Affairs for your work. And obviously, I want to make sure they have insurance depending on what's involved with the work. So there's lots of other types of permits relative to the scope of work you're undertaking. We have a new building category, Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3. Alt 1 is the most involved type of undertaking, second to only new buildings. Then Alt 3 is work for just maybe parts of a system in a building, plumbing, electrical, and so forth. One more thing, landmarks, almost forgot landmarks there.
Landmarks.
So if your building is in a landmark district, you will need to get that entitlement in hand. And that usually starts by you applying to the Department of Buildings first, and then they push your application over to landmarks should you be in that jurisdiction. And that could take, a short amount of time, or it could be more lengthy depending, again, on the scope of work, the impact, what's visible to the public or not, or what is a minor change.
Great. So as usual, you can always ask us more questions about these topics. We're here to help. So check back in next week for more accurate and informed observations on the Brooklyn property market. Take us out, Donald, one last comment.
Yeah, again, just mentioning again the demand that we're seeing out there. We're happy to provide advice on either side, seller or buyer. We want to educate either side of the equation here, share all our knowledge with them so you can get out there if you're trying to divest of a property, be smart about it, strategic about it, happy to advise there. And the buy side, obviously we see what's going on every day and happy to advise you as well coming from the buy side. So don't hesitate to reach out.
Great. See you next week in April.
Take care. Bye.